Hey guys, it's Caleb and Sylvia, welcome back. So today I wanted to show you guys my blackberry jam fruit that I've grown from seeds, and I wanted to take you through the journey of when I started them 9 months ago right through to how they're looking today. Now, if you haven't heard of blackberry jam fruits before, basically they're a little yellow looking fruit. They're almost the size of a loquat, but they have like a hard shell, sort of like a passion fruit does. And when you cut it open, it has like this jam like black fruit on the inside. A few seeds in there as well, but it looks really, really cool, really interesting. And unfortunately, I can't confirm with you guys if it does taste like blackberry jam or not. But if you guys have tried it, let me know down in the comments. I'd be really keen to hear what you guys think of the fruit. And if you think it does in fact taste like blackberry jam, or if it tastes like something else, I'd be keen to find out, and I'm sure others would be keen to read those comments as well. Anyway, let's jump right into it and go back 9 months to when I first started my blackberry jam fruit seeds. So these are the seeds here. They're sort of about the same size as like a passion fruit seed, and I've got 5 of them in this bag, and I've just put some water in the bag a few hours ago just to kind of kickstart the seeds into gear and hopefully try and get them to sprout a bit easier. I'm just going to be planting these directly in soil. So the soil I'm using today is a mixture of peat moss and seed raising mix. So when you're growing these, the most important thing is to provide like an acidic soil and a free draining soil. So this mixture is quite good because the peat moss adds the acidity and the seed raising mix just helps with the drainage. So I'm just planting these only slightly under the soil. They don't need to be very deep at all. And I'm just pressing the soil down a little bit around them. Because it's early spring right now, I'm going to have these growing indoors, and I am going to put them on a heat pad just to keep them warm and hopefully speed up the germination of the seeds. It's also a good idea just to put a plastic container over these to keep the humidity high and keep the warmth in. Alright you guys, so we've got a couple of little seedlings here, and it's midsummer now, so I'm definitely ready to transplant them. But if you're wondering what happened with all 5 of the seeds, I did actually have 4 of the 5 that did sprout. So pretty good success rate, but unfortunately because we were moving house and everything and it was all a bit crazy, I left them a bit too long in between watering, and the ones that were in the really shallow trays just dried out way too much, and unfortunately those ones died. So if you guys are growing these, I'd recommend grow them in slightly bigger containers so that you don't have to really watch them, because as soon as they dry out too much, you might lose them. Why don't we actually open these up and have a look at the roots and transplant them into some larger pots. So they do have some decent roots, as you can see. They've gone probably around 3/4 of the way down the pot. So yeah, probably a good time to transplant them anyway. We'll just have a quick look at the other one as well. Well, it's looking like a fairly healthy root system. It's probably about the same size as the plant in terms of the height of it. So yeah, looks good. This time for the soil, I'm just using some regular potting mix, and I have mixed in some peat moss as well. But again, that potting mix will just add some good drainage to the mix, and the peat moss should add that acidity. I'm just putting some of the original soil around the plants as well, so they can kind of adapt to the new soil mix, because it's a little bit different than before. But I mean, they should be pretty much all good to go anyway. It's summer now, so they're growing well, and I'm hoping they'll sort of take off and put on some better growth now they're in some bigger pots. So this is how the plants are looking now, and I'm pretty pleased with how they're going. They're sort of growing steadily, but they have slowed down because it's winter. I have noticed that the new leaves are kind of ruffled and they sort of have a bit of a strange look to them. I'm not too sure why that is, but if anyone has any ideas if that's normal or not, yeah, let me know if there's anything different I can be doing. But aside from that, they're looking fairly healthy, and I'm planning to plant these into some bigger pots in the springtime. So I'll definitely keep you updated with how they go. But the cool thing about these is that they are said to actually survive to about -3 degrees when they're mature. I wouldn't probably risk it putting them out in that cold temperature, but it is good to know that they are fairly cold hardy. And as well as that, the good thing is that they can grow pretty well in containers. For these plants, they only grow around 2 meters tall anyway, and they can fruit when they're about 2 feet tall. So that's kind of good. You can keep them fairly small, and they also will fruit in filtered light. And the best part about these is that they are said to be able to fruit when they're only about 1.5 years old, which is pretty young really. I mean, these are 9 months now, so I don't necessarily expect that they'll fruit that soon, but hopefully at some point I'll have some fruit to be able to show you guys and share that with you. So fingers crossed that all goes well, but otherwise I'll keep you updated either way with how these do. But anyway, that pretty much does it for today's video. So if you enjoyed, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you guys all in the next video. Alright guys, we'll catch you next time.